Yesterday, the new Hearthstone expansion, Rise of Shadows, got announced. Hype. So, that is something that I really want to talk about, of course, as we now know the theme of the next expansion. And we already got a few cards, guys, from the next expansion that they revealed so far. So, what I want to do on today's stream is we're gonna play a lettering. But I also want to really take a look at the whole announcement that has been made today. And do a little bit of a review on the announcement. Give my first thoughts. Give the cards that have been revealed the first thoughts. And just a little bit about what the expansion and also on will be about. So that's what we're gonna do today. The expansion season, guys, the review season of the expansion starts again. And you know that my reviews are always very accurate, so they are very important for you to know if the cards are going to be good or not. It's going to be fun. I'm actually very excited, guys, for some cool stuff coming up. I kind of want to see this announcement trailer, guys. Should we watch it? Maybe that we can already check the first parts in this. Let's watch the movie together, guys. Hearthstone!
Hello and welcome. I'm Dave Kozak. The year of the dragon is almost upon us. Today, we begin a year-long journey that will take us deep into the hearth of darkness. Join us for an adventure in 3 parts. A Hearthstone trilogy that will take us from flying cities to ancient depths. A journey where we will meet new friends and familiar enemies. Our year begins when the shadows rise.
So you're probably wondering why
Man, my volume is so loud. Oh my god, is the volume not loud for you guys? Oh my god.
We've been given black eyes by the good guys. Oh, but that's about to change. Those meddlesome mortals who've mocked up our missions will finally feel some of our pain. You see, I have a devious plan that requires a demonstrative fist. And each of you will have your dreams come true as a finger's finger of peace.
Therefore. Oh, look at them.
Let me try this again. Alone all our dreams went. Kaboom! Yes, but united we'll take
the candle.
no fish bigger.
I'm seeing what you want to do.
Let me hit it.
We'll come together so we can dismantle.
Now here's the plot to capture your greed.
Rafa.
And greed. We'll take Dalaran for all that it's got. As we form an evil league.
The Super Squad. They're like, here comes the Super Squad.
Indeed, the arch-thief Rafam has gathered together Hearthstone's most nefarious villains. Their target, the magical floating city of Dalaran. Their final objective, a mystery to be unraveled in the coming months. With this first chapter, together, we can explore deep...
I could do this job, guys. This job will be fit for me, man.
What is the nature of evil?
He is
mana does it
monka.
Is it any good
He's
against
all the time
evil?
monka, guys.
These are the enigmas of the human condition we will explore. And who better to explore these mysteries than the villainous mastermind himself, Rafam. The one-time arch-thief is not the only...
Card! Arch-Villain Rafam. 7 mana, 7/8, guys. Taunt, Battle Cry, replace your hand and deck with legendary minions. 7 mana, 7/8. So, this card, it's a Warlock only card, but when I saw this card, I was like, damn. I had to think directly of the Lich King. And if I compare this card to, like, the Lich King, like, don't forget, guys, a 7 mana, 7/8 is already a very solid body. And this taunt, that this card has taunt, is super huge. Very good. It can also be like a little bit like a Prince Lion, let's say. that you can like replace your hand. Like normally you lose a lot of tempo with cards like that, but it's replacing your hand and deck, so not just your deck with legendary minions. Kind of like an Elise for Warlock. Probably also kind of nice for like a zoo deck.
Villain who will be returning to Hearthstone to wreak havoc. His position as founder and head of the League of Evil has legendary benefits. In addition to returning villains, other cards harken back to the mechanics of bygone days. Madame Lazul, the fortune teller, is bringing back some forbidden.
Spend all your mana, destroy a minion with that much attack or less. Spend all your mana, destroy a minion with that attack, so health doesn't matter. Shadowbird 4, guys. 4 attack minion, bye bye. That's actually pretty good. Very flexible card as well, guys. Single removal card for Priest. Priest has a lot of good single removals. Doesn't necessarily need it, but definitely a very flexible card.
Forbidden magics, faint whispers of the old gods. Make no mistake, this will be one of our
It's probably better than
darkest
Shadowbird Pain
expansions.
in a lot of spots.
Each of our villains has an angle. Each of them seeks to bring about their own criminal schemes to fruition. Patience is a villainous virtue. Schemes.
So this is one of the new mechanics in the game. One of the 2 new mechanics. Hagat Ashim upgrades each turn. So it starts as a 5 minion deal 1 damage to all minions. But it upgrades each turn. So every time this is, I think, in your hand, it upgrades. And so if you have it like 5 turns in your hand, it deals 5 damage to everything. So by just having it 4 turns in your hand, it's already a flame strike. Well, it's like kind of strong in a way. In hand, yeah, in hand. So you can really compare this in a way to like a flame strike if you just have it like 4 more turns in your, or 3 more turns in your hand, guys. Don't underestimate this card. It's really like an flame strike, a dragon potion. This card is very good. If Shaman is gonna be good, like that's priority 1, because currently Shaman, let's say, is not the greatest. To all minions. Oh yeah, that's true. So it deals to your minions. Ah, okay, less. Huh.
Such as this one, grow more powerful the longer you hold them in your hand. What do you call a card capable of doing colossal damage to every minion on the board? Evil! It's an evil card! Sinister plots
again,
require
guys.
an army of lackeys to carry them out. Take a look at this miscreant, seen frequenting the company of rogues. He is capable of adding 2 such lackeys to your hand. You might be asking, what are lackeys? How many are there? How do they do against aggro? All lackeys are small 1/1 minions with a distinctly evil battlecry.
So there will be cards, guys, in the game that can spawn lackeys. And lackeys are, I think there are 5 or 6. And all of these cards are 1 mana 1/1 cards that do a little bit OP effect for what they can do. Some examples: give a friendly minion +1/+1 and rush. Transform a friendly minion into one that costs 1 more. They all have like a little bit upside effects.
Use them and dispose of them at will. That's what lackeys are for.
Thanks
Throughout
for the
year,
sub, Hitan.
More lackeys will be added with each set, representing the growing reach of the League of Evil.
I love how it
The
always is
magical
the
defenders
perfect
of Valorant
outcome in these
won't
videos.
sit idly by while evil stalks their street. Our villains will run into a formidable defense befitting the capital of magic, including a new mechanic. This druid spell will summon tree ants, but it's what's known as a twin.
So this is the new mechanic, Twinspell. What basically means you can play the spell twice. What is different from Echo is that you can always, it doesn't like go away from your hand. So it's, once you play the spell, you can just play it anytime again. So it's basically like a card that you have like 2 of in your hand. What is like different than Echo is that it doesn't go away. So that's like the difference. God, this card is bad, by the way. Oh my god.
Spell, meaning it can be cast twice. Once cast, a second copy of the spell is added to your hand to be cast immediately or saved for a future turn. The very streets of Dalaran will descend into chaos. Everyone will be drafted into the fight. including the city's merchants, such as this jeweler who can buy your hero an extra turn.
Your hero power can be targeted by spells or hero powers. I mean, it's already a 3-mana 3/4, guys. 3-mana 3/4? Kind of like 3-mana 3/4 timeout in a way. That's a good card in like specific decks. It's probably like a tech card. Your hero can be targeted by spells or hero powers until your next turn. It's kind of like a timeout against combo decks. Only against combo decks. Well, can be targeted, guys, so they can still Mind Blast your face. It's only spells that target the face. So against Kalecgos, let's say, it works, but it doesn't necessarily work against like Felon and Kalecgos. Huh.
Who can buy
but it's a
your
3-mana
hero
3/4.
an extra turn.
Might be in some
Pity
metas
the
irrelevant.
fool who believes
Monka
they
again,
have
guys.
lethal when she comes into play. When faced with such terrible evil, even the best among us must resort to extreme measures. Chef Nomi is an Epicurean of pyrotechnical proclivity.
7-mana 6/6 if your deck is empty. 7/6 6/6 Graveshard Elementals. Well, guys, to make your deck empty, of course, that's like super tough. Will probably be very hard to be played in like quite some decks. But I know a way, guys, where it can be very great. Imagine if you play Rogue and you play yourself Mira's Elemental. Your deck becomes empty. You play this card. You suddenly summon a full board of Graveshard Elementals. And what you can also do then is you can Shadow Step it. You can Lab Recruiter it. Yes. So this is more of a card that you don't want to play in your deck in general. But maybe with some certain combos it can be very powerful.
End your game with a bang, for revenge is a dish best
Wow.
served hot. This
Damn.
card is on fire. You could say he has a burning. You know what? Let me just skip ahead. This book has a lot of fire puns. Hearthstone.
I like this guy.
Dragon! The most powerful mages of the world are stepping up to defend Dalaran, including the blue dragon and one-time aspect of magic itself, Kalecgos. The very embodiment of arcane energy.
Alright, guys, and now we are talking. This card makes me so excited when I saw it coming out. 10 mana, Kalecgos. Your first spell each turn costs 0. The battle cry, discover a spell. So 10 mana card, but the 10 mana card, guys, doesn't lose you any tempo. Your first spell each turn costs 0, and even if you don't have any spell anymore left in your hand, you can still discover a spell. So you can discover an Unflame Strike, you can discover a Pyroblast, you can discover a Frost Nova, whatever you're playing. So kind of Kalecgos Ysera stats. But what I really like about this card is that it doesn't lose you tempo. It does for 10 mana. It can play as a 4/12, and then it really reminds me on Solia, what was like the card that was in the Reno expansion, where it was 7 mana and you could play a spell for 0 for 1 turn. This one, if the Kalecgos stays on the board, it can even go for longer. So I like that this card doesn't lose tempo. That is where this card can definitely be actually very good. It will not be like meta defining because it's like 10 mana. So, but he's not like slow for 10 mana. So this is a 10 mana card that definitely like has potential.
Kalecgos allows you to cast a spell for free every turn. And if you don't have one handy, his battle cry will give you one. No doubt, the defenders of Dalaran are going to put up quite the fight. But will
Perfect
it
situation.
be enough to save their city from the League of Evil? This is but the first chapter of a trilogy, a tale of magic and miscreants, an epic struggle at the very epicenter of magic in Azeroth. Who will triumph? We shall see where the cards fall when the shadows rise.
Yeah, I should maybe do a little bit of a more organized review, guys, so we can also use it on YouTube. Let me see. But I also wanna go a little bit deeper in everything.